Hello everyone, my name is Auzi Asfarian. I am a lecturer in Software Engineering and Information Science Division, Department of Computer Science, IPB University. In these talks, I will present about our works in enabling online collaboration in problem-based learning during COVID-19. This is the reflection from our courses of human-computer interaction that I do with my colleague, Mr. Firman Ardiansyah and Mr. Apriana Ramadhan. It is an honor to give these talks in this meeting of the annual meeting of Asia and ASEAN Center for Educational Research. Nice to meet you. So for a bit of background, I am an assistant professor and lecturer in Department of Computer Science, IPB University. My research area is human-computer interaction, user experience, and mixed reality. I active in the SCM and IEEE Indonesia section, and I have a little bit experience in educational research, but I really interested in this topic, so I hope I can learn a lot from you. This is the outline of the talk. So basically, I will start with the short introduction to our classes and showing you about the collaboration that happened before the pandemic in our class. And on the third part, we will tell our story when moving to online for the first time. And we also will provide some what kind of collaboration happened in our class after the pandemic, and also some reflection about what worked well and what not works under class. And lastly, we provide future works that we will conduct in the future. So this is the course description of human-computer interaction classes. So basically, in this class, we want the student, after completing the courses, are able to analyze, design, develop, and evaluate and communicate the form of interaction between human and computer in limited scope. So the course has 3 credits, 2 for lecture and discussion, and 1 for practicum. And this course is a core course that mandatory for every undergraduate student at computer science major on 5th semester, but it's also offered as supporting courses and information system minor course for students in non-computer science major. So we have mixed class between computer science and non-computer science undergraduate students, and they might probably previously unfamiliar with computer science or working in collaborative context online. Pedagogically, we create our courses based on problem-based learning. So the student working in group and try to create a solution of the design brief that we give them at the first week. So the student have 12 weeks to create the solution using the established interaction design frameworks, and at the 14 weeks, they will present their works. We assess the student through lesson activity, project, and peer assessment. In this class, we use the double diamond design methodology to guide the student to solve the problem through 4 processes: discover, design, develop, and deliver. So the lecture is designed to develop core understanding of the concept and design principle, and also the methods that can be used by the student through case studies and discussion. And the practicum is designed to give scaffolding of mastery through facilitation, mentorship, and guidance to apply their understanding to the problem. So this is our theme in 2020 Human-Computer Interaction class. We involve 3 lecturers and 9 practicum facilitators. And these facilitators are students that we interview and selected based on their performance in the human-computer interaction classes and their experience on extracurricular activity related to human-computer interaction. So before the pandemic, this is how the collaboration happened in human-computer interaction classes. So you can see a lot of group discussion, a lot of brainstorming, user research, meeting new people, sketching, and a lot of sticky notes. And the student outside of the courses, they also have exposure to the community, alumni, and professional networks in the related fields through extracurricular activity. So in our university, we have IPB University SCMC Kai student chapter, and it has a routine event that the student can also involve with. When moving to online, there are problems that we must address. The main problem is how to transform the collaborative activities, which relies on a lot of physical objects, tools, and discussion to online format. But also must consider also how to make the collaboration engaging, how to manage the quality of solution and learning outcome achievement, and also the fact that students might not have previous experience in doing complex online collaboration beforehand. The student might not have equipment or internet access to conduct the collaboration, and this is the first time we will doing it. So there is a lot of challenge. A lot of people having this kind of problem. So our first attempt before creating our online course is to try to get inspired by the community and hope to inspiring others when doing so. So this is one of the activity created by Germany as an ASEAN Center chapter about how to make remote human-computer interaction teaching useful, engaging, and exciting. So you can see the summary of the talks there, and it gives a lot of feedback to us when creating online courses. And also, Edukai community. This is one of active community in SEM, Sikai. Also create the teaching human-computer interaction online resource. So we discuss for quite a bit of time and compile the result into document that can be accessed by the community. So we learn a lot about how other people in worldwide trying to approach the same problem that we have. We also try to get inspiration for our own community. So we invite future students that will take the courses, the practicum facilitators, alumni, professional networks on human computer related fields to gain feedback and discussing how the course will be delivered in the next semester. There are also a lot of community members that share the experience and teaching resources that we can now learn and use in our courses. For example, the Sikai teaching resources and also some article in SEM Interaction magazines. So finally, after getting all that input, we preparing for the online course. So we utilize a lot of facility provided by IPB University, which combined with other product to support online collaboration, which thankfully most of them are free access for student or educational purposes. We also get various of help from Kai community regarding the selection of the supporting tools. This is the tools that we eventually use in our online course. So we have the learning management system as the primary page for the student to access. We use Google Site for wiki-style collaboration platform and also to present to them the design brief. We also use Zoom and Google Meet for synchronous discussion and also for remote qualitative user research tools. WhatsApp and Line is usable as communication channel, while Mural will be our main platform for online brainstorming and discussion. Figma is usable for online collaboration to creating low and mid and low until high fidelity prototype. And finally, Mesh Design is used to enable usability testing remotely. In the course, we ask the student to reimagine experience of the well-known interaction that they already know. So we create the problem design brief to the student related to reimagine our campus, reimagine Bogor Botanical Garden. We have very great garden here in Bogor. Reimagine how gallery, libraries, archive, and museums can be more interesting for the visitors. Reimagine personal health and also reimagine design in pandemic. So this topic was selected based on the previous or current work of the lecturer. So we already have a lot of resources to be given to the student to understand more about the problem domain. We also provide the illustration, some possible ideas, and also previous work that we have done in the previous area, either created by previous students, IPB lecturer, or other product that already launched. We introduce each design brief to the student in the first week of the practicum session through Google Site, and the student group can choose which problem they want to focus on. In total, we have 53 groups that working in the 5 different challenges. In this course, we also acknowledge the student prior knowledge of our experience in human-computer interaction field. So this is in line with the Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka policy, which basically allows students to submit their activities as a credit. So we allow the student to submit 5 activities from competition, online course completion, conference, meetup, and webinars. They released application or entrepreneurship training, and also the activity in professional communities. The student can submit the proof of their activity and fill in the reflection form. And after we validate their submission, we will give them some grade that will contribute to the maximum of 25% of lesson activities. So this is some collaboration result after the pandemic. So in this screen, you can see the brainstorming result via mural. So the students are conducting discussion using the mural. And we found that this kind of interaction worked well while supported by the voice communication. So the student can open the mural website on their devices while simultaneously using voice call through Line or WhatsApp to communicate and talking with their group mates. So what you can see in the screen is how the results are mimicking the use of the sticky notes in the real life situation. So this become a good example for the student to bring ideas together and to learn together. It's very fun to use mural to do something like this. In this screenshot, you can see the student activity to discussing some relevant source related to their problems, and they try to identify what interesting, what important, and also what opportunity that they can gain from that based on their reading result. The student also use mural to preparing and analyzing the result of the activity. So in the screen, you can see the group of students are trying to discussing the question that they will ask to the respondent, their fellow students, when they doing the remote interview through Google Meet. And also on the right side of the workspace, you can see how the student try to group and analyze the interview result collaboratively. In the next activity, the student group create low-medium fidelity prototype using Figma through collaborative prototyping. So basically, this is online workspace that can be accessed by all the student members. So they can split their tasks or discuss what other group members do and create. And meanwhile, we, the lecturer, and also the practicum facilitator has access to this workspace to grade their activity. In the midterm exam, we also ask the student group to create a simple video to showcase how their interaction works. And we also ask the student to give a comment and feedback to other group works. We grade both of the video and also the scenario, and also the comment that given by the students to other people group. After the midterm, they do the evaluation of the prototype. So as you can see, this is how the student use the mural to preparing for the remote usability testing and to do interview to their target group. And they also mural to consolidating the testing result collaboratively in a single workspace. So similar with the previous activity, we also have the access to their workspace and we can grade them based on their activity. The student also use Figma to collaboratively prototype the high fidelity prototype. So different with the previous activity, this activity they must create the prototype that show the interaction in more details. So as you can see in the screen, this is their work collaboratively. So they might doing this synchronously or also asynchronously. The student also using mesh design when doing remote usability testing. So by using the mesh design, the student can deliver and perform usability testing well. And the mesh design also provide quite intensive analysis of the participant performance. We have very interesting and potential submission from the student group. So you can see this is the three selected works that very great and show the student quality when doing the online course. We gather some student feedback related to our activity in the online course. You can see in the graphic below, but we still analyze the qualitative data by the time of this presentation created. So there might be a lot of more in-depth analysis that will be added in the future. But basically, the quantitative data indicate mid to high overall satisfaction for the online learning. However, we also have several lower satisfaction that might indicate some people still has difficulties with doing online collaboration in our class. It can be because they have difficulties in internet access or not adjusted yet to the online format. So this is the reflection about the online collaboration from lecturer perspective. So in conclusion, yes, it can be done. The online collaboration can be done, but with caveats. The first one, it demands good engagement between student and facilitators and also the lecturer. So the number of facilitators and lecturer is not enough to facilitate 160 students in online format. There are also heavy burden on the facilitator who also has another academic activities as they are still students. Secondly, it demands good infrastructure, devices, and access on the student side. So this raises another question for us to how to maintain inclusivity on our learning, because some of the students raise concern about accessibility issue in the course. And lastly, it demands for scaffolding and guide for the first timer. Both non-computer science and CS students need more guide or training to use the platform that we use very well. We add some live tutorial session in the course, but it's not enough. So we need to work on this to make the next online human-computer interaction course better. At the end of the courses, we receive a lot of submission to the prior knowledge acknowledgement. So a lot of students say that this helped them to be more active to gain experience outside the campus, as their activity are recorded in the grade. And it also has potential to serve as alternative activity for students with the lack of access to heavily synchronous collaboration session, which demand stable internet connection. So that is why a lot of submission from online course, because we give a lot of point for that activity. So this is some of the future works that we will do in the future. So basically the first one, if we will provide the enrichment materials about working with specific user group that the student might not be meet in the online course context. The second is to adding more into our bank of methods and case studies repository, so students can have more example about which method that they can use and how to use it correctly. We also still doing better analytic and research on this online course, and we still have 2 questionnaire that we still need to analyze, and we're still working to find the alternative for students with limited connectivity. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.